Hey there. So you have been hearing a lot of information and a lot of people talking about this eXp Realty. What is it? Why are people moving their real estate license from one brokerage to the next? Well, today I'm going to share with you why I moved my real estate license from Keller Williams to eXp Realty, and we're going to hop into it right now. Hey there, Mariah Koehle here. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. I teach real estate agents how to scale their business leveraging social media. So today I want to share with you just a couple of reasons why I ended up personally moving my license from Keller Williams over to eXp Realty. So number one, I have been a licensed real estate agent for 16 years. I had my license in California for many of those years. My family and I decided we actually wanted to move out here to Utah. And I was currently holding my real estate license in California, but I had also gotten my real estate license here in Utah. I was trying to figure out, how am I going to do this holding one license in one state, one license in another state? And I really wanted to keep my branding consistent. I wanted to make sure that I, was on the same page, and really I wanted to find one brokerage to do the job. So at the time, I had my real estate license with a boutique brokerage in California. I had my real estate license with Keller Williams here in Utah. I was branded one way with Keller Williams. I was branded another way with my boutique brokerage. And at the time, I just kept thinking, I have two email signatures. I've got two this, two that. And it just seemed more difficult. And I thought, gosh, there's got to be a different way. There has got to be a brokerage out there that I will just have to pay one cap, one split, instead of having my cap and my split at my boutique brokerage in California, having my cap and my split with Keller Williams here in Utah. I thought there's got to be a different way where I can just make this more seamless and the branding more seamless. And this is where I ended up going down the rabbit hole of really reaching out. And at that point, I had other brokerages reaching out to me of, hey, you know what? We would love for you to be part of our brokerage. We'd love for you to be part of our team. We'd love, And so I just really started researching and finding out, hey, can I hold, when these different companies and brokerages would reach out, I'd say, oh, awesome. Tell me all about your brokerage. And also, can I hold my license in multiple states? And there was not one brokerage that I talked with at that time, except for one other one that was a luxury brokerage that I was going down that way. And I thought, okay, maybe I'll pursue this one. And so I had heard of this, and then I had heard of eXp Realty as I was doing my research. So the more I went down the eXp Realty rabbit hole, the more I started finding out that not only could I hold my license in multiple states, so I could have it in California and I could have it here in Utah, but if I, for some reason, wanted to get it in another state, I could have it in another state, and I was only paying one flat fee per month. I'm like, oh my goodness. My husband's a tax accountant, so of course he's like crunching numbers in the beginning, and he's like, okay, so wait a second. Let me see if I'm hearing this right, because before in California, I was paying my desk fee, my broker fee, every month there, and it was about $55 per month. Then here in Utah, I was paying Keller Williams, a franchise here, and I was paying about $40 a month. So I'm right around $100 a month just to hold my license at these different brokerages. That didn't include any caps, any splits, any MLS fees, nothing like that. Just simply holding my license there. So then I get out my little pros and cons sheet, and I start telling my husband, I'm like, okay, hey, so I'm paying almost $100 a month just to have them there, but I'm branded two different ways. I've got two different splits, two different caps, right? What if there was a brokerage that could solve that problem of, streamlining it all? Well, it turns out I found eXp Realty, and I found out there is an $85 monthly fee. And that $85 monthly fee actually covers 10 times more than I was actually even getting at my boutique brokerage and then at Keller Williams. Some of those things that it covers, not only does it cover, just holding my license there, but it also covers my training. So the training, I'm able to go into what is called the eXp world or the metaverse, which is so cool. Whenever my kids walk into my office and they're like, oh, Mommy, are you in a work meeting? I'm like, yeah, I am. And so they come in, they're like, oh, this is the coolest thing. They see my little avatar and they're like, this is like a video game you're playing. I'm like, yeah, kind of, but not exactly, but it is pretty cool. And I can go right into that metaverse. I have hours and hours of classes that I can take. I've got an education background. I got my, master's in education, and I was an elementary teacher for many, many years while holding my real estate license as well. And so I remember thinking like this education piece of real estate that is so near and dear to my heart that I absolutely love. Not only do I love educating myself, but I love educating others of things that I found out. So that education piece of eXp Realty too, where I can go into our metaverse and there are, 85 hours a week of classes that are being taught on contracts, on production, on all these different things that will help leverage and scale my business to the next level as well. And so I thought, man, that is so cool. Not only do you get that, but you've got what's called SkySlope that helps all with your transactions. That is like a digital signature, similar to DocuSign or DocLoop, all of that. It is all included. So there are a lot of different things that are included just in that $85 with the training fee, with, just having that back end of the metaverse. And addition to that, you have the whole concierge services, which I'm like, concierge services? What? I've never had this at either of my brokerages before. And so the concierge services that I have found really, really useful is, hey, you know what? I'm looking to do this. Where would I find that information out? Or, hey, you know what? On my tax return, I got, this and this, or on my W-9 or on my whatever it is, I can go to the accounting services right in my metaverse and I don't have to go anywhere else, right? So there are just so many things right at your fingertips. And I know for me personally, being a mom of 4, I want to be with my kids a lot. And so running down to my office to make a team meeting was really actually pretty inconvenient, depending on the day, the time, the whatever. And so a lot of times I can stick in my earbud. I can be to my broker's, state meetings, and I'm driving carpool, bringing my kids to school, or I'm making a meeting, but I am driving soccer carpool that day. And so there's a lot of things that I can do, and I can be completely plugged in to into my masterminds, into my brokers meetings, into all the different things that I want to be a part of. But it has allowed me to do that because of the model and because of the way eXp is structured. So in addition to holding your license in multiple states, in addition to the incredible trainings, in addition to the metaverse that you've got your fingertips at, the costs and splits that I, have here with eXp, that you can have with eXp Realty too, are very competitive with so many different brokerages. I have an 80-20 split. So I keep 80, they keep 20, up to $16,000. So once I hit $16,000 for the year, I have hit my cap, and then the rest of the year, the money is mine. There is a small little fee for E&O and insurances, but very, very, and a transaction fee, very, very, very small. So for me, that is awesome. Also, that $16,000, if you hit a certain production over that $16,000, if you are, if you sell 20 homes, if you're a high producer, you can earn that $16,000 back in stock options, which is so cool. None of my other brokers ever offered me stock. So I'm actually an owner of the company too, which is so awesome. So I can see that stock being dropped into my account on my first transaction that I do each year. So there are a lot of other ways that you can earn stock too. I buy stock at a discounted rate every single time I sell a home. I buy it for a discounted rate. So I just automatically know, oh, hey, out of every paycheck, I'm going to just, this amount of percent, I am just automatically buying eXp stock, which is traded on the NASDAQ too. And I am, it's a retirement account in addition to, like I said, I was a teacher for many years. So I've got that, but I also have now stock that I am buying with eXp at a discounted rate. And I am gifted stock at the beginning of the year of my first transaction too. So the different, the different revenue streams that I have seen here in eXp too, not only my transaction business, but also with the eXp stock has been incredible. And then for me, lastly, has just been this whole community and feeling of collaboration over competition. Like I said, I was a teacher for many years and I loved helping other teachers, and it seemed like other teachers enjoyed helping me as well. And so sometimes I'd walk into a classroom and I'd say, oh my gosh, I love this project. Can I, make a copy of it and use it in my classroom? And they'd say, oh yeah, of course, make the copy, put it back in there. And people did that with mine too all the time. And so we were constantly sharing ideas, and we were constantly, oh, hey, you know what? I'm doing this lesson in my classroom. If anybody wants it, I'll make copies for anybody. And this is how I'm doing it. And so I felt like I was always a very open book, and I loved sharing, and I loved, telling people, what I'm doing with this and that. And I've had a lot of friends that have done the same thing. Once I got into real estate, it was like, wait a second. I feel like nobody was opening up their playbooks or their lesson plan books of like, hey, this is what I'm doing to, to generate leads. This is what I'm doing to, help clients. This is what I'm doing to, all these different things that I was like, hey, am I the only one out here that like, I'm willing to share what I'm doing if you share what you're doing? And I felt like it was just more this competition over collaboration. And this is certainly not what I've seen with eXp Realty at all. And depending, the groups that you align with, the people that you end up partnering with at eXp Realty, I feel like the people that I have partnered with at eXp Realty, if I call them, these are some big time top producer people that are very, very busy. And I have their phone numbers. They have my phone numbers. If I need something from them, I can call them. I don't use that lightly and I don't take advantage of it, but I know that they are there to help and support me. Same thing for my, the other agents that have partnered with me too. So I just feel like there's this huge community, and weekly I meet in these different masterminds on top of that metaverse that I had mentioned before of all the education that's in there. There are also mastermind meetings that you can join in weekly depending on the groups that you join with. And every week I am learning and growing, and my production since joining eXp Realty has literally 10x'd, and my, just my knowledge and skill base and what's in my tool belt, I really feel like has increased. So depending on where you are at in your real estate business, if you are wanting to take it to the next level, eXp Realty may be a fit for you. It may not be a fit for you. I know for me personally, when I was making the decision and I'm telling my husband like, okay, here are all the different things that I'm noticing, poke holes in this. Tell me what am I missing here? This sounds too good to be true. And I finally just looked at him one day and I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to take a leap of faith here. If it doesn't work, then I'm going to switch. Like I'll give it a year. I'll see what I think. And after a year, if it's not the right fit, I'll change. There's a million other brokerages that I'm sure would be happy to have my money and would be happy to support me. But I have seriously never felt as supported, as connected, as part of a community as I have with eXp Realty. So if you are looking for a community like that, or if you are just looking for a change and you have your license in multiple states and you're paying, multiple brokers just like I was, or you're looking for a way to leverage your business through social media, that is how I have built my business and have leveraged and scaled my business, is through the power of social media. And if you are looking to do the same thing, I am always looking for like-minded partners that are looking to do the same thing. So if you are looking for that, feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. And I honestly have partnered with people just like you that are looking to build businesses just like me.
That you showed